It is Monday. Happy Monday to you, Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller, as we're getting off the first weekend in August. Isn't that crazy? Already into August. Feeling every bit like summer, though, still. There's no doubt about it. How about the humidity and all of the moisture in the air, the rain, the storms over the weekend? Remember Thursday and Friday, how nice it was? And I said, hold on, wait till this weekend. You step out the door. Yeah, it was just remarkable to me Friday, how great Friday morning was, and then Saturday morning, whoop, totally different atmosphere all around the state, and a decent chance of showers and storms and we had some rain. It's going to be a typical summertime pattern this week, probably more typical than we've seen in quite some time because we really haven't had the daily shower and thunderstorm chances we normally see in the summertime. We'll get like a few days of it, and then it'll be dry for several days, and then a few days of it, and then dry again. This week, that's not the case. So we've got a situation here. I want to show you this. You maybe see it on your screen. This little twirly thing here, there's Nashville. This is Alabama, right on the Tennessee Alabama border. That's low pressure. It's called an upper level low. Normally, when you have low pressures, you've got fronts attached to it, a cold front, maybe a warm front. This is up in the atmosphere, so it's an upper level low. What this is doing, it's dragging plenty of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, your choice, into, I just say the Gulf, it's just easier, into the southeast. And you can see the movement of as such. So that's going to sort of sit and spin today and tomorrow before it just sort of fades out. And we get these from time to time, and they are definitely rainmakers. The difference with today is you see this little slot here. This is drier air aloft. And that will really put the limit, I think, on showers and storms towards the upstate, along the Savannah River, maybe close to the CSRA and parts of the western Midlands. I think the majority of the rain today, not that we're not going to get showers and storms there, but I think it'll be more hit and miss. But I think the majority of the rain today will be from Columbia towards the PD, the Grand Strand down towards the Low Country, right? This is where we see this sort of fetch of moisture coming in here from the Gulf. This is this dry air. I think as this thing slides off towards the east and south, this will be over the upstate and western Midlands. This then will sort of fade out. This will go to the south, and then everybody gets back in the action on Tuesday. And it's just going to sit here. There's nothing really going to move this moisture out of here for a while. The ridge that had the hot temperatures we saw last week, that's off towards the west. How can I tell? Not a cloud to be found from about Memphis towards the west. So you've got high pressure there. So for us, we are just inundated in plenty of moisture. With the heating of the day, that August sun that comes out, boom, we'll start to fire off these showers and thunderstorms. Any severe weather? Probably classic severe weather, no. But could we have some storms that produce some damaging winds and some frequent lightning? That certainly is possible. I think hail would be sort of. We have so much moisture and the air is rather tropical and warm. And basically, we have a column of air from the surface where we live, right? This is where we're right here to above, right? So air lifts, rises, produces clouds, then rain. This whole column of air is very saturated, very warm. You need some sort of cold air aloft for there to get hail. I don't really see that happening. I'm not going to rule it out, but I think for the most part, we should be fine. Now, the upper level low could help drag down colder air and could help produce some hail in some areas, but this will fade out here over the next couple of days, and we're just going to be stuck here in this pattern. So let me get to show you what I'm talking about here. So here we are. This is the latest model run that I think I'm going to hang my hat on here today. So this starts pretty much 11 o'clock this morning. Notice with the radar and the satellite, we already have seen some showers right along the coast. This model matches it perfectly, so we'll go through time here. Here's 11. Here's 2 p.m., scattered showers and storms. Notice where majority of them are, right? Towards the PD and the coast. Not so much towards the upstate western Midlands, as promised. That's that slot of dry air moving on in. So there is 8 o'clock tonight. By 8 o'clock, the heating of the day is done. It's still very moist, humid, just sort of. I had a friend of mine that would always say when the weather would get like this, she would go, Tim, it's just gross outside. Yeah, so I would say we'll call it gross outside. Notice 11 o'clock, everything's quiet, right? Calm, nothing going on. 2 o'clock in the morning, we're still going to get some showers here to develop. Why is that? Well, because the atmosphere is still plenty of moisture in the air, and it's in the atmosphere is aggravated. It's sort of like having um, like an itch or something, right? And the atmosphere's got to scratch it, so it's producing some showers. There's 5 a.m. There's 8 a.m. Notice what happens as we get towards the rest of the day. Here's 11 a.m. on Tuesday. This is tomorrow. And then there's 2 p.m. So the center of that low that we saw uh, today, which was up near Tennessee and Alabama, is now just south of Columbus, Georgia. So that's an upper level low, and that's dragging in the moisture. So we're done with any dry slot. This will produce some decent amount of rain, showers, and storms. There's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There's 5 o'clock, boom. And by 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow night, I think that low just sort of fades out and we're just stuck with all this moisture. So the forecast, the takeaway is a couple of things. One, with the clouds and the rain across the state, much cooler temperatures. I think all of us will either hang around mid to upper 80s. Some of us may see a 90 if we get enough sun out there, which was actually below normal. And then all the rest of the week, around 90 degrees, upper 80s. Perhaps my feeling is from the PD to the Piedmont to the upstate, generally speaking, mid to upper 80s. Upper 80s to around 90 through the Midlands, and then upper 80s right along the coast, right, with opportunities of rain each and every day. So I would say if you have anything to do outside, do it before noon every day this week, because anytime after noon, all the bets are off with showers and storms, all right? And of course, we'll keep you posted. If there's any severe weather, we'll hop on here right away and let you know what we're seeing and what the very latest is. In the meantime, we'll come back this afternoon and give you an update as to what to expect for tonight and the rest